Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call to order the first public hearing on the 2025 tentative budget. I will open the floor to public comment. Anyone wishing to speak pertaining to this matter, please come forward.
Hello. Okay. Thank you, Lorraine Diamond. I'm the district attorney in Montgomery County. I'm assuming everyone in front of me knows that, but for those behind me, if I haven't met you yet. I was not here last week, as you know, when my office was discussing the budget, and that was because I had surgery last Monday, and so I'm here today. And basically, as you know, Christina presented for our office and illustrated the disparity in the budgets between the prosecution and the public defender's office. Through no fault of any office, since that 2020, I think it settled in 2020 lawsuit, they're throwing money at the public defender's office. I mean, I call it magic money. They just can't find enough stuff to throw at them. And God bless that office. I mean, they're doing their job. Rosemary Kaiser is on top of it. She gets them everything they need and more. But the reality is, and I've said this from the beginning, when you have these grants coming in the door, if it's a $500,000 grant, you have to think of it as a $250,000 grant, because you're going to have to balance things on the prosecution side. You can't bury us. We have a higher caseload by far, and we have huge responsibilities with bail reform. It's really unconscionable what these attorneys are expected to carry. And I heard Christina say, you know, we stay at night through no cost to the county. It is a cost to the county. You're paying us a salary. And, you know, so that gets extrapolated over the number of hours we put in. But at the end of the day, it's the only way to get it done. They can't individually manage those caseloads. And I remember, God rest his soul, Legislator Duchesne saying to me, thank you for wanting to stay ahead of this and for chipping away at that iceberg, and I'm summarizing, and getting ahead of this. And that's what I intended to do, and that's what I did. And make no mistake, I have worked really hard in this job. It's what I wanted, it's what I love, it's my passion. And I've done that for the taxpayers of this county, because it's my firm belief that every man and woman, and one of them is sitting in this room, who puts a vest on and serves and protects our community, which, as we all know, helps our property values, brings business into the community. We can't let that go, and they are wasting their time if we can't prosecute their cases. And I will tell you that all around us, in counties all around us, indictments are being dismissed because they don't have enough people and they can't keep up. And that has not happened on my watch. And it's not because we don't have the caseloads. Having 300 cases per person is terrible. I mean, almost unmanageable. And if it wasn't for us sitting at night going through, listen, I've been working from home for 2 weeks with this knee. And I think they're going crazy because I don't have phones ringing. I don't have police walking in every 5 minutes. All I'm doing is going through their cases and putting in task reports. And everybody is climbing the walls, you know, having to now respond to all the tasks that I've been putting in the last 2 weeks, which I routinely do. But you know, what I'm trying to say to you is, you know, we didn't come in shooting high and hoping we'd land middle or low. I came in with a reasonable and conservative request. I came in asking you to give me what I negotiated with Matt Ossenfort last year to keep our salaries for our ADAs in par with Fulton County so we don't lose people up the hill. And if anybody thinks that won't happen, you're sorely mistaken. Because I can tell you, if I was them and I could get more money 7 miles up the hill, in fact, we have one ADA that lives there, I would do it. So, you know, don't tell me about longevity. They're all new. Nobody cares. They want to feed their families, and they want to be paid a decent wage. And they work hard. And I can guarantee you they work hard because they work for no one else. I don't let my full-time employees work for any other jobs. They don't have part-time jobs. They don't go to other full-time jobs. They work for Montgomery County. So I'm asking, when you sit down, I asked for a paralegal instead of an ADA. And again, I keep looking over there because Legislator Duchesne was sitting in your chair when we had this conversation. You know, and I said, if we get one a year and stay ahead of it, and that was Legislator Headwell's problem. He wanted to hear the plan. He didn't want to be surprised. And I said back then, I would be coming and asking for one person a year. And I didn't do that this year because I heard we were, you know, having issues financially. And so we came in with we got creative, and we came in and asked for a paralegal at half the price because they can turn over discovery. And one of the biggest demands in our office is discovery. We lose cases if we don't turn discovery over, and we have tight windows, 15 to 20 days to get it turned over. That's a lot. And I heard Christina talking about body cameras. You know, thank you last year for giving us those 2 interns. We had an ADA out, and there was some money left on the floor. We had them working on body cameras. I mean, it's hours of this stuff. We have to turn over statements that we hear happening as police are on the scene. So many moving parts and pieces. You know, again, at this juncture, it got wheeled back what Matt and I had worked out last year by a couple with $1,400 in ADA. And I'm here, I'm not even the DA next year. Thank God willing, there's no one running against me, and as we know, I'm running for county court judge. But this is how passionate I am about seeing the hard work I put in sustain itself over the next 4 years and set the people that I've trained and that I've worked hard. I feel one of the biggest accomplishments in my career, and you know, I got my first management job 40 years ago in the United States Marine Corps. The biggest accomplishment I've had is this staff that I have in this office and what we've done in 4 years. That is by far my biggest accomplishment in my career. I don't want to see that go by the wayside, and neither do the taxpayers of this county. They put us here for a reason. They put you in those seats for a reason, and I'm asking you, when you're reviewing that budget and what was taken out, again, most of the increase in our budget, which I think is $164,000, are the statutory raises. We've asked for a $60,000 position. We've asked to have another $1,400 per ADA to stay competitive. And we also brought in $49,000 more in revenues. And while I do the happy dance for that, just by way of example, how many millions of dollars of grants do you have in the public defender's budget? And somehow our government in the state of New York thinks that they're blessing us with another $50,000. And I don't want to look a gift horse in the mouth, but that is nothing compared to the money that's being thrown at the defense. So I know I missed the budget meeting, but I really couldn't leave this position in this office without telling you how strongly I feel and how I hope when you sit down and put pen to paper and punch buttons on whether you're using a calculator or your Excel spreadsheets, that you take a hard look at those numbers, put that money back in, and let's set them up for success next year so they can carry on the good work of the office, as well as the hard work, and reinforce and support the hard work of every member of law enforcement in this community. Anybody have any questions for me? I don't know, it's public comment. I asked Martin, do we do questions? No. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Lorraine.
This is my last budget meeting as the DA. Thank you very much for having me. Maybe, I don't know, you're here Thursday, right?
Anyone else wishing to speak on the tentative budget? Hearing none. Close the public hearing. 6:08. You're ready. Ready? Okay, we'll call to order the regular meeting, October meeting of the full legislature. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Chair Sweet,
Here.
Legislator Kelly,
Present.
Legislator Allen, Legislator Hadwell Jr.,
Present.
Legislator Wilson,
Present.
Legislator Majewski.
Here.
Legislator Pep,
Present.
Legislator Kowalczyk.
Here.
Will you all please rise to salute the flag? Counselor, would you read this?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for us to recognize the people who have fallen since our last meeting. Joseph L. Benato of Amsterdam passed away October 1st. Joe served in the U.S. Navy from 1955 to 1959. Gifford W. Cougar of Canajoharie passed September 30th. During the Vietnam War, he served his country in the U.S. Army stationed in California, where he trained as a cook. Raymond E. Oldick of Fort Plain passed away on September 30th. He served in the U.S. Army from 1957 until just his discharge in 1959. Chester S. Sajik of Amsterdam passed away on October 4th. Chet served honorably in the United States Army from 1955 to 1957 during the Korean conflict and continued his military service with the United States Army Reserve from 1957 to 1963. Daniel E. Colvin of Canajoharie passed away October 6th. After graduating from Canajoharie High School in 1965, Dan enlisted into the U.S. Marine Corps and served in Vietnam. Walter May passed away October 4th. He joined the Marine Corps right after high school and was honorably discharged in 1985 with the rank of Staff Sergeant. Robert A. Garrison of Amsterdam passed away October 13th. He served as a Senior Chief E Division in the United States Navy Submarine Service for 20 years. Ronald P. Rios of Fort Johnson passed away October 13th. He served the U.S. Air Force during the Korean conflict from 1950 until 1952. Henry Kallenberger Jr. of Canajoharie passed away October 9th. He joined the Army National Guard soon after high school graduation, and eventually earning his title as Staff Sergeant in 1975. Thomas W. Flanders of Canajoharie passed away October 20th. He enlisted in the U.S. Navy, serving as a submarine operator, also holding positions as former Chief Cryptologic Technician in the technical branch of the U.S. Navy. Part of his service was during the Vietnam War. After 20 years of service, he retired as Chief CTTC. A moment of silence, please. Thank you. Okay, at this time, I'd like to issue a proclamation, and if Dawn and Ken and family would like to come forward.
Watch the microphone.
And I don't have an engineer. Do my best not to wreck him.
Not right up. Just further on the corner.
You're doing good.
Okay.
Do you want me to introduce myself?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I'm Tracy Paradise. I work with the Montgomery County Office for Aging, and I run the Caregiver Respite Program. So I chose Dawn Hansen as my 2024 Caregiver of the Year. I chose Dawn because she's a remarkable woman. Not only does she care for Ken, but she runs their business. They own Ken Hansen Paving, and she does 2 full-time jobs. She takes care of him, and she runs the business, and she does it all. She does everything. I gave her a few hours a week of respite to help her out, just to kind of help her, get work done and just get a physical and mental break from caregiving. And I think it's worked out really well. And like I said, you're a very remarkable woman, because most people that I've had here in the past just cared for one person. They had one job. They cared for their spouse or another loved one. She cares for him and runs a business, a very successful, popular business. So I wanted to honor her this year. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay. Whereas each year millions of dedicated Americans with caring hearts take up the selfless and unheralded work of delivering care to seniors or people, family members, or otherwise with disabilities or illness, and the role that they play in our healthcare system is one that should recognize and be celebrated. Whereas the Montgomery County Office of the Aging has chosen Dawn Hansen as the 2024 Caregiver of the Year for her unwavering dedication and compassion and caring for her husband Ken while managing the family business, Ken Hansen Paving in Tri-Cell. And whereas Dawn's journey of being a caregiver began in 2006 when Ken suffered a debilitating leg injury after being run over by a dump truck, an event that drastically changed her lives, and following months of hospitalization and rehabilitation, Ken returned home, and despite his efforts to resume work, further medical challenges eventually rendered him unable to continue running the business. And whereas throughout these challenges, Dawn has been a full-time caregiver to Ken, providing personal care and ensuring he attends all necessary medical appointments, while also taking over the demanding responsibilities of managing Ken Hansen Paving, where she skillfully handles all aspects of the business, including banking, job estimates, bookkeeping, phone calls, and scheduling. And whereas Dawn reached out to the Montgomery County Office of Aging in search of support, and with acceptance into the Caregiver Respite Program, and she was able to receive personal care assistance for Ken twice a week, providing her much needed relief, allowing her to focus on business while also ensuring Ken was well cared for. And whereas Dawn has expressed her deep appreciation for the program and the aide who has been instrumental in supporting her and Ken, enabling her to manage both caregiving and running the business with greater peace of mind. Now there be it resolved, County Executive Robert A. Bertel and Legislative Chairman Wendy Sweet, on behalf of the Montgomery County Legislature, hereby proclaim Tuesday, October 22nd, 2024, an official date in Montgomery County to honor and thank and recognize Dawn Hansen as the 2024 Caregiver of the Year.
I mean, the program has been a help. I look forward to the 2 days I have, and
Very good.
yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, if you want more squeeze in so we can get a few photos.
Yes. Front side.
There you go. More?
Yeah, perfect. Well, so we have three different, they're waiting for three different groups. Ready? 1, 2. 1, 2. 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Ken Hansen Paving did my driveway.
Would you recommend it? Maria? Would you recommend it? Oh, okay.
But yes, it's
You
still
would.
up and running.
That's good. Did you ever wonder why the driveway is called a driveway and a parkway?
Parkway's called, yeah. You drive on a
It's one of those
parkway and park
mysteries.
on a driveway.
Yeah.
It's one of the mysteries I ponder every day, Mike.
Well, only when the subject comes up.
That, and if I go to Canada and order bacon, what will I get?
Yeah.
I get American bacon or Canadian bacon?
Oh, that's a good question.
5 or 6 on Thursday.
5.
5 on Thursday?
5 o'clock.
All right. Continue on with the meeting. Do we have any communications?
No.
I need a motion to amend the agenda to add a resolution for a public hearing.
I'll second.
As well. Pat, discussion? Hearing none, all's in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Okay, we'll add that on at the end. Next, I need approval of minutes.
Second.
Kelly, Legislator Hedwell Jr. Discussion? Hearing none, all's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? I need a motion to accept the budgetary transfers. Legislator Pep,
Second.
Legislator Wilson, discussion. Hearing none, all's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? And I need a motion for the procurement record.
Um,
Maria?
A second.
Chad. Discussion. Hearing none, all's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? Anything under old business? Hearing none, we'll move right on to the resolutions. Ready?
Yep.
First resolution, Resolution 241, resolution amending the 2024 operating budget, farmland protection, economic development and planning. Sponsors were Wilson and Kelly. Discussion. Hearing none, all's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained?
Passed.
Next resolution, Resolution 242, resolution appointing member to give the Montgomery County Industrial Development Agency and Capital Resource Corporation. Sponsors were Kelly and Hedwell Jr. Discussion. Hearing none, all's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Passed.
Resolution 243, resolution authorizing the assignment of purchase and sale agreement, Exit 29 redevelopment project. Sponsors were Sweet and Majewski. Discussion. Hearing none, all's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Passed.
Resolution 244, resolution supporting application to Environmental Protection Agency for Brownfield Assessment Coalition Grant. Sponsors were Kelly and Kowalczyk. Discussion. Hearing none, all's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Passed.
Resolution 245, resolution recommending approval of the amendment to revolving loan for Lee newspaper, Lee Village Properties, Lee Shops at Wagner Square. Sponsors were Allen and Kelly. Discussion. Hearing none, all's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Passed.
Next resolution is Resolution 246, resolution authorizing application for I Love New York Tourism Promotion Match Grant Fund. Sponsors were Kelly and Wilson. Discussion. Hearing none, all's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Passed.
Resolution 247, resolution approving the sale of surplus equipment. Sponsors were Wilson and Sweet. Discussion. Hearing none, all's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Passed.
Resolution 248, resolution authorizing county executive to sign engineering service agreement for County Route 108 Sprakers Hill Culvert Replacement. PIN 2754.80. Sponsors were Kelly and Hedwell Jr. Discussion. Hearing all's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Passed.
Resolution 249, resolution authorizing county executive to sign engineering service agreement for County Route 48 Wagner Hollow Road Bridge Replacement. Bin number 3309760. Sponsors were Sweet and Kowalczyk. Discussion. Hearing none, all's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Passed.
Resolution 250, resolution authorizing county executive to sign engineering service agreement for County Route 2 Cranes Hollow Road Bridge Replacement. Bin number 3310280. Sponsors were Majewski and Allen. Discussion. Hearing none, all's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Passed.
Resolution 251, resolution authorizing county executive to sign agreement, Prime Care Medical of New York, Inc. Sponsors were Sweet and Hedwell Jr. Discussion. Hearing none, all's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Passed.
Resolution 252, resolution authorizing the county executive to sign an agreement accepting the FY 2023 Domestic Terrorism Prevention Grant Program grant funds and amending the 2024-2025 operating budget. Sponsors were Hedwell Jr. and Kowalczyk. Discussion. Hearing none, all's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Passed.
Resolution 253, resolution amending the 2024 operating budget. Sheriff. Sponsors were Allen and Wilson. Discussion. Hearing none, all's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Passed.
Resolution 254, resolution authorizing the county executive to sign an agreement accepting the FY 2024 State Homeland Security Program, SLETPP, SHSP grant funds and amending the 2024 operating budget. Sponsors were Kowalczyk and Allen. Discussion. Hearing none, all's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain?
Passed.
Resolution 255, resolution awarding contracts of rehabilitation of the 6 Park Street project for Public Defender Office. Sponsors were Headwell Jr. and Kowalczyk. Discussion.
Pull the sponsorship.
You want to pull your sponsor on that? Okay. Would anyone like to pick that sponsorship up? Hearing none, we'll move on to the next resolution.
Hang on 1 second. 256.
That's the next one.
Set.
Resolution 256, resolution authorizing county executive to sign addendum to laboratory services agreement with Laboratory Corporation of America Holdings. Sponsors were Wilson and Majewski. Discussion. Hearing none, all's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain?
Passed.
Resolution 257, resolution authorizing county executive to sign contracts for home run and turnabout prevention programs. Sponsors were Sweet and Headwell Jr. Discussion. Hearing none, all's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain?
Passed.
Resolution 258, resolution amending the 2024 operating budget mental health. Sponsors were Majewski and Kelly. Discussion.
I'd like to amend, I'll make a motion to amend and have a clause put in there where that when these funds are being used, that they should be coming in front of the board for approval.
Would that be a whereas, Counselor?
That would be a result.
A result? And you want it to say,
Give me a second. I'll be able to discuss.
I just want to know what you want it to say
I
first.
just wanted to say that it needs to, for the funds to be able to be used, they need to be approved by the legislature.
Do I have a second on that amendment?
Second.
Discussion?
I don't think, the reason I'm bringing this up is I don't think it's any different than the opiate money that we have spent throughout the whole year, that these projects need to, at least we know what the projects are, we're approving the projects and have an idea of what the funds are being used for. I mean, just, that way, we're all on the same page and we don't get with the money being used somewhere that we might not agree that it should be being used.
I think the next resolution covers that, but I could be wrong. Because I did have a discussion with public health when we accepted the money. I said the legislature is gonna wanna know where it's going. And I think that's the next resolution, but I could be wrong.
No, because
That's only 34,000.
These totals are a lot more than what that was.
But these are addendums to increase the total amount. Those aren't,
Yeah.
that's not what the original contract amounts were for. That's the new end total.
So the
But
grant.
either way, you're approving it. I mean.
So the grant is for $34,836.68, and you're saying that the next resolution is what that money's going to?
My understanding, and again, this was a discussion I had a month ago, but my understanding was the money was going into these contracts as addendums. I don't think.
But these monies can also be used for other things. I mean, so I'm just putting it out there for further use with opioid money that it needs to be approved, which is being done in this case, would you say with the next resolution?
Yeah.
But with other things, we just need to clean it up a little bit.
So sorry, but just to bring this up, so right now, as resolutions state, the general rule for resolutions is anything over 75K, you guys approve, anything over a year, you approve. Your resolved, just hypothetically speaking, would mean that if there's $1,000 use of an opioid money, that you want that approved.
No different than we've done with the COVID money. I mean, it was $5,000, $8,000, we've approved them. They should be coming before the board for approval.
Any other discussion, further discussion? What are your thoughts, Counselor? Can we put that in there?
For this amendment right now, wouldn't it seem
it's not, it's 1 year total, it's not 1 year numerical, it's 1 year date. You could do it, there could be the potential for someone to say it's bringing up charter issues over the authority of the executive to sign contracts above 75. You know, that could be thrown out there, because it's, again, historically, every contract over 75K is approved by the legislature. The ARPA stuff was different because that was federal, it was grants. And I think there was a clause in that federally that we had to do it that way. Yeah, I mean, you can do it, the executive does have veto power. I mean, so if it goes through, you could make the argument that the executive could have vetoed it and didn't, so, I mean, there's that. I'm just pointing out that that is extending beyond the normal reach of the legislature to say anything, any and all.
Can we make a policy then that any settlement funds, a quarterly report is given to the legislature on how the funds were expended?
You could do that.
Under the 75,000.
You could, I mean, you could ask for a report on settlement, break down fund expenditures. I think no matter what amount, you could just ask for that. You guys are the purse of the county and fiscally responsible.
But, you know, but someday, something's gonna come down the road where the money's gonna be used for something, and the majority of the board is gonna say, wait a minute, how come that was done without going through? And this is, I mean, this is just putting it out there, showing people what's happening and going forward. I mean, it's just, you know, I think it's just a way that everything's kept on the up and up and go from there.
Okay.
And then you're not reading about it in the newspaper, you guys, you know, that kind of stuff.
Any further discussion on the amendment? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Nay.
Abstain?
You voted no.
Correct.
Passed.
Okay, on the resolution as amended, any further discussion? Hearing none, all's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Abstain?
Passed.
Passed. Alrighty. Resolution 259, resolution authorizing county executive to sign contract addendums for provision for of services for substance abuse services, mental health. Sponsors were Allen and Kelly. Discussion. Hearing none, all's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain?
Passed.
Resolution 260, resolution authorizing the county executive to sign an agreement with Niagara Life and Health Insurance Company for stop loss. Sponsors were Majewski and Kowalczyk. Discussion. Hearing none, all's in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain?
Passed.
Resolution 261, resolution approving the retirement days credited monthly for part-time and full-time elected officials. Sponsors were Wilson and Sweet. Discussion. Hearing none, all's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain?
Passed.
Resolution 262 is introductory law, local law C, local law 3 of 2024, a local law requiring avoidance or adequate mitigation of cumulative impacts of industrial solar arrays. Sponsors were Wilson and Majewski. Discussion. Hearing none, all's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain?
Passed.
Resolution 263, resolution granting $35,000 of American Rescue Plan funds to the Music on Mohawk Summer Concert Series. Sponsors were Sweet and Kelly. Discussion. Hearing none, all's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain?
Passed.
Resolution 264, resolution granting $4,000 of American Rescue Plan funds to the Grow Amsterdam, New York, Inc. Sponsors were Kowalczyk and Kelly. Discussion. Hearing none, all's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain?
Passed.
Resolution 265, resolution adopting revised Freedom of Information Law Policy and rescinding Resolution 38 of 2018. Sponsors were Kelly and Wilson. Discussion.
Chair,
Yes.
I wasn't here last Tuesday. What was the motivation, derivation, backstory behind this coming to our attention for vote?
There was a change in state law that requires that we update our FOIL policy.
Okay.
A few years ago, 50A was rescinded that used to protect personnel records of police officers. That was rescinded. The state now wants to see provision in all county FOIL laws to have policies and procedures when records are requested to put people on notice. So
Okay, thanks.
we worked on that.
Yep, thank you.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Passed.
Resolution 266, resolution rescheduling December meetings of the Montgomery County Legislature. Sponsors were Sweet and Hedwell Jr. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Abstained? Martin wants to be here on Christmas Eve.
Martin, you can come to my
It
house on
passed.
Christmas Eve.
Resolution 267, resolution amending resolution 212 of 2024. Sponsors were Sweet and Kelly. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Passed.
Resolution 268, resolution adopting introductory law D, local law 4 of 2024, a local law amending local law 3 of 2022. Sponsors were Wilson and Kowalczyk. Discussion. Go ahead.
Isn't it kind of amazing? We're into October and we've only done 4.
Well, I can write lots of stuff if you want.
I'll work on that.
No one is thanking me for getting us an extra $1,000 on this. No one.
Thank you. Thank you.
What line item does this affect? And was it taken into effect in the budget process?
Good question.
I'm not sure.
Good question.
Can we find out? Huh?
Local law number 4,
Yeah.
and you wanna know what?
We're getting more rent from the cell tower. We want to know if it was recognized in the budget.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Passed.
Resolution 269, resolution authorizing an increase in solid waste tipping fees at county transfer stations. Sponsors were Kelly and Majewski. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Passed.
Resolution 270, a resolution authorizing Montgomery County Executive to sign contracts for operation of waste transport services associated with the Montgomery County transfer stations. Sponsors were Hedwell Jr. and Kowalczyk. Discussion. Mark.
For this one and the previous one, are those recognized in the budget?
Yes.
Any further
Last
discussion?
week's question was, does that make it 0?
Yeah. Any further discussion?
Does it, is there anything left? Did this clean out the 45? Year 2 and year 2? The ARPA money. When we, last,
This isn't ARPA, this is the tipping fee.
This is
on
tipping.
the-
oh, no, oh, okay.
Yeah, I wanted to
Oh.
make sure that we set the fee so that it's 0.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Funding, I just wanna know now, has it been adjusted in the budget, even though it should be in and out.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Passed.
Resolution 271, resolution granting $10,000 of American Rescue Plan funds to the Village of Fultonville. Sponsors were Hedwell Jr. and Wilson. Discussion.
Does this 0 out the ARPA funds?
Does this zero out the ARPA funds?
No. What do you got left?
Probably about 30,000 left.
So we cleared out 45 last month, right? Okay. So the other 30 must have been out there already, right? Because this one's 10 and 8 is 18, and the other two were what, 4 and 30? Concert series?
Our concert series is 35.
35. And 4, 39. Okay. Thanks.
Any further discussion?
Could I
Go
just
ahead.
So that goes through economic development, and all these resolutions came through Ken Rose,
Yep.
who would know that.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Passed.
Resolution 272, resolution granting $8,000 of American Rescue Plan funds to the Fulton Montgomery Scary Literacy Program. Sponsors were Kelly and Allen. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Abstain.
Passed.
Resolution 273, resolution authorizing the county executive to sign building use agreement, office space, KCS Land Research Group. Sponsors were Majewski and Kowalczyk. Discussion.
Yes. I'm assuming no increase.
Is there an increase?
There was a minimum.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Passed.
Resolution 274 is a resolution approving abstract of audit claims. Sponsors were Wilson and Sweet. Discussion. Hearing none, all's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Passed.
Resolution 275, resolution authorizing Montgomery County Executive to sign contract for solid waste disposal with Seneca Meadows, Inc. Sponsors were Hedwell Jr. and Majewski. Discussion. Hearing none, all's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Passed.
And we have one add-on. Resolution is resolution scheduling public hearing, Montgomery County Local Solid Waste Management Plan, Economic Development, got a sponsor, Kelly and Hedwell Jr. Discussion. Hearing none, all's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Passed.
Anything else under other? Go ahead.
Can I just hear the read back on the amendment to resolution 252
258.
and the amendment?
That was the one we were gonna ask the, that's a legal
Pat, did
question.
you get the
Well,
whole thing? for
The notes that I
amendment
have is it
258?
was resolved that the funds used would be approved by the legislature. The opioid flood funds used by, would be approved by the legislature. Was there more?
You need any more technical than that?
Was there more?
I'm still looking for it. Yeah, that's what I got. All approval of funds subject to approval by legislature.
So that's the amendment.
Yeah.
Yes.
You good?
Yeah, and the other one was resolution 261. Were the attachments updated and current?
Yes, they were fully current.
Okay.
Anything else?
Can I,
No. We need to go into executive.
I'll make a
Okay.
motion that we go into executive session to discuss contracts.
Second?
Executive session where no action is taken.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
I already wrote it.
Okay.
One thing on the